Spangled Banner besides Devlin? Oh, I saw one hand go up. Two hands. Heck, it's like bingo. A half a dozen other people than you, Devlin, knows that verse. Hey, you can sing whatever verse you like. Here's the Star Spangled Banner. Time. We got a band in the birthday. Our principal hornet, Steve Cord, is older than I am. Just barely. I think you got more white hair than I do, too, buddy. Hey, I had so much fun putting this program together. I hope that you enjoy it. The band suffered with me on Monday with rehearsal. It's a very eclectic program. It was a number of themes that surfaced during the year, and not enough to put together a single theme for each one. So I combined them together under some little mushmash. What's it called? Past, present, notable comings and going. Some kind of horse stuff that the first half of the program will deal with World War I, the 100-year anniversary of World War I. And then we've got some stuff in between, some comings and goings and almost. And then the finale will be the 40-year anniversary of a making of a major motion picture. And people my age and a little bit younger will appreciate it. We'll bring the rest of you up to snuff. The 40th anniversary of Animal House. Now my mother will be shaking her head going, Gary, son, if you can't say something nice, just don't say anything. We're going to start with World War I. Dedicated to the first 100,000 deaths of World War I. You know, we had more than our share in Montana. There was a mathematical error. And we sent 10% of Montana boys. The rest of the country sent 1%. We sent 10% from here. This is the Banished Army by Kenneth Alford. 100 years ago, folks. The neatest thing on tonight's program is this wonderful composition. It came out 20 years after World War I, finally, just before World War II, in commemoration in band form of the famous tunes of the day from World War I, including, of course, Over There, Over There. Also, Rose of No Man's Land, Goodbye Broadway, Hello France, Katie. Where do we go from here? And then comes back again with a reprise of Over There. It's arranged by Kurt Grofus, and he is famous. He's the fellow that wrote the Grand Canyon Suite, one of the first legitimate classical composers that spawned here in America. Is that right, Bill? I think I have that right, sir. Enjoy, and it's good. I borrowed it from the University of Montana. Everyone and their dog is doing this piece this year, and so it's impossible to get a hold of. The last time it was printed was 1937. I borrowed ours from the University of Montana, which was Montana State University at the time, and they had borrowed this conductor score from the 773rd Army Air Force Band, which I'm thinking may have been a bass band here, may have been a ROTC band or something, or they just steal the score and never give it back. I don't know. I've got proof right here. Here's Over There Fantasy. so much. We're going to send out our crew right now to dip into your wallets. Last week, it was probably her big effect, the biggest single contribution week we've ever had. Like more than $800 last week. So, you've got a high bar to reach to tonight, kids, so dig deep and dig on them. Bless you, Janelle. The Golden Star started during World War I. It was awarded to mothers who gave a son in the cause. This was written by John Philip Sousa. We're doing two Sousa things tonight. And this is dedicated to Mrs. Theodore Roosevelt in the memory of the brave who gave their lives that liberty shall not perish. The president's own family lost a son in World War I. Here is the Golden Star March, and it's a funeral march, so it's nothing. let's leave World War One. The little stuff in between here is fun. We had some comings and goings, and this is almost a going. Many of our lives and loved ones are affected by Parkinson's, and it became more apparent this year when Neil Diamond gave it up. And we all know his stuff, and he came out and is dealing with it publicly, and we all love him and his music. And you'll know what to sing and when to sing it, kids, because it's his most famous hit. In honor of our living legend Neil Diamond, here is Sweet Caroline. Hold on. Talk to my buddy Ron into playing some electric bass. We can use it on these rock and roll too. Is it Fenway Park? It's Boston Red Sox, right? Okay. Sometime I'm going to get there. You know, George Goodrich's youngest boy lives and teaches at Boston. Sometime I'm going to go out there, and he said he's going to get me tickets. I'm going to sit up in that Green Monster and drink beer and sing Sweet Caroline.
All right.
Hey. They're giving me stuff back here. Hey, so in your memory, we had a famous musician passed this year. And a notable bunch of hits. I was going to give some more samples. I can only come up with one decent band arrangement. We'll do it for him. Somebody who I have an affinity towards. Kind of like Fats Waller, Fats Gillette. I'm not dead yet. But here's Blueberry Hill, Fats Domino left us this year. neither suffering with Parkinson's or death. Maybe. We like to share this wonderful tune. Our principal trumpet player, it's a big band arrangement that we've been doing since the season when we normally play, which is in between the community band seasons. And so he puts us rehearsing in November and December and gigging in January and February. And since we did a gig at Valentine's Day, we got Ross's beautiful arrangement. He just plays it. And it's got flute and horn parts as well. So we're going to share. Meg came and joined up. Happy's jumping over on guitar. Ron's going to stay on bass. Ross Tate, here is My Funny Valentine. Howdy. He's not so good with the microphone. He thinks he can blow over the whole band all the time. He usually will.
Wait a minute.
I got
one. You know, what's the difference between a good burger and a shooting star? You know?
I'm afraid of the setup.
One is medium, the other is a little medium.
still some family here. His sisters were here at rehearsal on Monday. We both have older sisters, and you know, I was just horrible to my older sister. And I saw his older sister smile at him. I couldn't have slapped the smile off of her face on Monday's rehearsal. She was so proud to see her dumb little brother finally do something good. I don't know, I'm just projecting. That's the way I was. I got a little meteor. All right, from the sublime to the ridiculous, that's right. The 40th anniversary of Animal House, and for those of you who are too young or a little too old, Animal House starred John Belushi, this comedic actor from Saturday Night Live, was just absolutely outrageous. And I remember my mother just shaking her head. Oh my gosh, it was like the Three Stooges gone bad, all wrapped up in one character. All right, so here's the Faber College theme. It really wasn't that Brahms, several hundred years before, was being awarded, Johannes Brahms, as in the guy who wrote Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, okay, that fellow. Brahms was awarded an honorary doctorate at Leipzig University. Well, the scam was to give the honorary doctorates so composers would write works for the university, and they would become famous because of that. And that kind of rankled up Brahms, so he skipped the ceremony and didn't have the piece ready in time, and then just to thumb his nose at him, he wrote a piece called Academic Festival Overture, which was just a collection of drinking songs. And presented it in a very classical nature, and most of the folks at the university top, were unaware, and everyone got the joke inside. And then clear thinking on the producers of Animal House to take a little snippet from the Academic Festival Overture and use it as the alma mater song for Faber University, the phony university that is the home of all this shenanigans of Animal House. I'll turn around and cue you, though those of you that are in the know will go, oh, there it is. There it is. They stole it from Brahms. Who would have guessed? Here is Brahms' Academic Festival Overture. from the sublime back to the ridiculous. Yes, you'll be hearing us grunting in different places. The band starts out with the theme. I talked to the collection folks, hoping that they would go along with this. Janelle told me to jump off a boat. I was hoping to put them in togas and come out and remember, were you that age? I remember going to a couple toga parties myself. Well, in the midst of Animal House, and there's many folks here in Missoula that know more about Animal House because it was filmed over at Oregon State University of Oregon. Oh, sorry. The Ducky campus, sorry. University of Oregon. It was filmed there. Some of those buildings still exist over there, and a football team, I guess. Well, there's a big party as part of the goings on, and this is the theme from Animal House. I'm sorry. What a strange song, and even a stranger arrangement. And the kid who did the arrangement and I were classmates at the end of our freshman year at University of Michigan in that marching band. I thought he was a better writer. In the house band, that was Robert Cray playing bass guitar. Wait, that yeah, Robert Cray. Isn't he in town or was in town already? a great Seattle blues player, and he was playing bass in the house band. For those of you that watched that movie on occasion, if you're real sick, maybe you'll go back and catch it out. It's really more disgusting than what you remember. And the number one rock tune from the movie was done by the Kingsmen. And the Kingsmen, if you've ever been through the Experience Music Project over in Seattle, that they got connections to us locally because that's Boise. Well, my Lord, a rock band from Boise, Idaho, did possibly the most iconic rock tune in the world has ever seen. There's Louie Louie. All right, I'll get off my high horse. It was fun. It was fun doing the research on that. Louie, come on now. One of the tracks wasn't on the soundtrack itself, but I knew it existed because I remembered the marching band snippet from the movie. Wander back down your memory. It was homecoming parade. They'd already given up that they were ever going to graduate, so they thought they would just turn the homecoming parade into a disaster. And one of the hooligans went out and knocked over the drum major, took over the marching band mace and marched them down a blind alley. And of course, joking on us, and especially us trombonists, master trombone slides into the brick wall, and the whole band came to a horrible halting. And well, of course, they were playing a song, and I knew exactly what they were playing. Do you? Sousa wrote it. He wrote it for and the reason they chose this tune was because it had to do with the school again. Sousa wrote it for the Washington Post, that wonderful rag back in New York City. And don't get me going out of politics. I'll be good. Anyway, they had a contest. A writing contest for kids, an essay contest. And they thought, hey, let's have Sousa whip up a march. And Sousa did that, and became the most popular march next to the Stars and Stripes that he ever wrote. And became so incredibly popular that they stopped calling the dance the two-step and called it the Post. We're going to end up this evening with John Philip Sousa's Washington Post. Hey, we'll be back next week. All kinds of stuff, including Missoula's cutest couple. Yep. Yep, they finally got married, too. So Missoula's cutest married couple, Caitlin and Jesse will be here singing their hearts out next week. See ya. Thanks for coming out, folks.